Hello and welcome to UXDX Online. We have another fantastic lineup of speakers for you tonight. I hope you're really excited and waiting to learn to hear what people are up to these days. But before we jump into those amazing talks, I wanted to give you a very brief introduction to why we're hosting these events at UXDX and what UXDX is all about. So our mission at UXDX is to help teams shift from working in building software through waterfall projects to working in empowered autonomous product teams. And the reason that's our mission is because we believe it's a more effective, efficient, and sustainable way of working when you're in a high change environment. So why I added that last bit was when software was first being started and kind of changes weren't happening very frequently. So waterfall was actually the most efficient way to do things. Build a team, put them on some projects, disband them, move them somewhere else. But now, what do we find? That in some companies I've been in, there's been 120 projects on in parallel at the same time. So people are kind of staying in an area and just iterating and keeping moving, but they're still using that project mentality. So if we are staying in an area, it makes sense to have people who know the customer, who know the business needs in that area, and who can move quicker and keep iterating. And that's why we believe the product team, empowered autonomous product teams, are the more effective, efficient, and sustainable way. And that's really easy to say that, oh, just switch between these ways of working. And it's really hard to do in practice. But that's why we're hosting all of these talks. We invite people to share their stories about how they are changing their ways of working and sharing the kind of the challenges and the learnings along the way so that you can hopefully figure out how in your context you can start making the changes you need to make. And that brings us to questions. Whether it's on the YouTube comments or on our UXDX website, please do ask questions to the speakers. They'd love to answer any questions that you have. I'm sure they're going to give fantastic presentations, but there's always a little bit of your context or something that you want a bit more clarity on. So please do feel free to ask questions. And sometimes we can't get through all the questions that come up. So that's why we have the UXDX community Slack group, where we have an Ask the Speakers channel. And in there, you can ask any questions that come to your mind after the event or anything that we don't have time to get through tonight. We'll post in there and we'll invite the speakers to answer those questions for you. But that's enough about me. You're not here to listen to me talk. So I'd like to introduce our first speaker for the evening. And it's Amanda, who'll be talking about startup experience at Microsoft Shopping. So welcome, Amanda.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm excited to talk to you today.
Great. So I'll share your slides and I'll disappear and over to you. So thank you.
There you go. Well, thank you everyone for joining. I'd like to share my experience working as a product from beginning to now, like from 0 users to a product that saved more than $2 billion in savings at Microsoft. And we started as a nice startup, and now I don't think we should consider ourselves a startup anymore, but we learned so much along the way, and I would like to share like action steps learnings with you. So just a little bit about me. I'm from Brazil, and I'm working in Seattle as a software engineer. I have a master's in computer science, more specifically computer graphics, and today actually I'm completing 3 years working at Microsoft, and I'm one of the founding members of the product I'm going to talk about today. I'm full stack engineer, but I specialize more in the UX side. My goal for this talk is to give you a set of action steps and learning that you can take to solidify your startup side. Let me just start talking a little bit more about the product. So it's a shopping assistant. It's installed on the Edge browser, so you don't have to install anything. If you use Edge browser, you probably saw this before. And you find your deals and make sure you have the best price when you shop online. So that goes from coupons to cashback to price comparison to retailers, price comparison to sellers, and so on. So let me just show a brief commercial on what it is.
Meet the Turner twins. They chill. They compete. They cruise. Feed everything together. Except... Wait, this isn't mine. You don't use Edge to shop? Microsoft Edge is the best browser for shopping. Download it yourself.
So we didn't start directly on Edge. We had to prove our point for
Hey,
Amanda. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump in for a second. The audio is cutting for some reason, and I'm not exactly sure what's causing it. But
Okay.
we just seem to be having some technical issues with the platform. So what I might do is, and I know this is very difficult to do kind of midstream, but we might jump over to a Zoom room. I've put the link if you go to this. So if we can jump in there, Shantelle, as well, please. And what I'll do is I'll flip the stream on the website, so it'll start streaming from Zoom instead. So
sounds good. Okay, let me do that.
Apologies for this technical issues.
No,
we should be back working in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So apologies for people viewing. Lovely technical issues. So let me just put up